Hello and welcome back to the Messy Success Podcast. Your host, Elizabeth Henson here. And why do I feel like I'm always starting with these with, oh man, you guys? I feel like I'm always regrouping when I jump back into the podcast. I shared our last episode all about Luna Ray, and you guys loved it. That was so special. She's, kind of flapping around in the background over here. You guys might hear her today. But, right after that, we caught COVID. It went through our house. We survived that thing for about 2 years. And then, Omicron got us. But luckily, it was extremely mild. There's part of me that's like kind of glad to just have it behind us, and not, be so anxious about getting it. We've got it. We're past it. It really wasn't too bad. But I will say, like, energetically, it knocked me down for a little while. And because we were all home and quarantining, you guys know the drill. Like, when mom life happens, I have to prioritize my business, and my clients take priority, and sometimes the podcast gets pushed down. But I am back. I am energetically back, which is the best part. We've had 2 separate snows since you guys heard from me last. So the kids were home for some snow too. It's like we just time traveled through January. That's what happened. We time traveled. But February is going to be amazing. I shared on Instagram that I hit my sales goal for February on January 31st, which is so exciting. I can't even believe it. I've been in a little bit of like stunned, this mix of like wanting to celebrate, but like just knowing that my business is really in a good zone right now. Oh my gosh, like all the feelings. And how that works, my husband, my genius husband, has been helping me with my KPIs and a lot of the financial reporting. And because the 31st was on a Monday of January, that's why that sale theoretically kind of counted for February, just in the way that we're doing our calendar and financial reporting and things that are not English to me. But I'm figuring it out, and he's holding my hand, and I'm learning a lot of that. But we are setting revenue goals for each month and kind of breaking them down to the week. But because that particular last day of January fell in the first week of February is why we were able to do that. So I've just been on cloud 9 celebrating that everything on the agency side of things is just going so incredibly well. But today, what are we going to talk about today? I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and share another Facebook Live audio with you guys from the Community Builder Facebook group. I'm sharing really great things every single Friday in there. I go live, and I want to make sure that we're, maximizing that content and repurposing it for those of you that might not be in the Community Builder Facebook group, or maybe you are, but you don't really consume in the form of video and you'd rather catch it here on the podcast. So, depending on the feedback that I get, because I'm always listening to you guys and paying attention to, my community and reading the room, I think I might start repurposing some more of these Facebook Lives. We haven't done this in a while. We did it a while back. So that you guys can hear and kind of be on fly on the wall of what it's like to be inside that free community, the Community Builder, that is now up to almost 250 members. We got a whole slew of new members that are online tutors that found us in an online summit, which was really incredible. I'm so honored and excited to serve them. And so we're going to share that Facebook Live with you. This one in particular, I am just going live and sharing with them some of the things that I've been inspired by working in the agency, new ideas that I'm getting for Facebook groups, ways that we can make lead generation even easier and simplify, that path for people to work with us. How important it is to like meet your audience where they are. So I'm talking just a lot of random golden nuggets that I share with my community. So I thought you guys might enjoy listening. Even if you don't have a Facebook group, there's going to be some good businessy takeaways from the conversation. And whether you have a group or not, we would love to have you inside the Community Builder. I'm really working on making this a place of networking and great conversations. I'm going to be bringing in some of my friends in the industry to start speaking over there as well. I have a lot of big plans for the Community Builder Facebook group. And a lot of that is because it's a container and we're not, fighting the algorithms in the same way that we do on other social platforms. I really enjoy like that community atmosphere. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to play this masterclass for you guys. And don't forget to join the Community Builder Facebook group if you haven't already. We would love to see you in there.
Hello, hello. Okay, there we go. Yay. I feel like there's always a delay in the beginning, so I'm awkwardly sitting here waiting for the little wheel to stop spinning. Hello, happy Friday, you guys. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat short and sweet. I have to go across town to actually look at a possible venue for my 40th birthday party. I'm turning 40 in May, and I decided I wanted to have a party because there have not been enough parties in my life since COVID. And I'm sure COVID's still going to be around and it's still going to be a thing, but we're going to go for it and move forward with trying to find a good place for a 40th birthday party. And good thing I've enrolled some help. My friend Adrienne is helping me. I'm not even sure she's jumped in this group yet, but let's get right to it. Happy Friday. If you are new, I know we've still been having quite a few new members coming in, especially online tutors that are finding me through that virtual event. So if this is your first Facebook Live or maybe you're a regular, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I'm a professional community builder and leadership expert. And I found my happy place in helping people with Facebook groups, helping large 6, 7, 8-figure companies with their Facebook groups. And I finally decided that I wanted a place to share everything that I was learning about Facebook groups with other people who start or have Facebook groups. So this is literally a group about groups. And my intention is always that you can just pop in here when you need some inspiration, when your group is quiet, maybe you're not seeing the engagement that you want to see, and you're just like, crap, I don't know what to post today. I need some ideas. I want this to be a place that you can come to get those ideas on a regular basis. And then maybe you're wanting to generate more leads from your Facebook group. We're going to talk about all of those kind of things as well. You're always welcome to ask questions, share screenshots of something that worked really well in your group or something that didn't work well. I love checking out your groups, especially when I see that, you're actually continuing to foster the community there. I just joined, I think it was Kelly's yesterday. And I loved one of her engagement questions. So I love getting ideas from you guys too. And I want this to truly be, there's Kelly. I was just saying how much I loved your group, and just to be fully transparent about what that process looks like for me when it comes to joining you guys' groups is, it's really important to us to shine the light on others, our members, yes, but like on other people in general. And, I just want to make sure that I'm shining the light on people who are really fully invested in their community. And I knew that Kelly was. So I jumped in her community and I took a peek and I was like, this is amazing. Totally took one of her question ideas, wrote it down in my notebook for later. It was the one that was like, if you were to get married where you met your spouse, where would you get married? And I thought that was such a fun question, a great way to get to know your members outside of just business as well. So all of that to say, this is a place for group experts, new Facebook group owners to come for inspiration weekly. I go live most Fridays. Let's not get married to the idea of every Friday, but I am here live most Fridays around 11 or 12 Eastern. And hey, Quinn, sometimes I come with like a whole notepad full of stuff. Sometimes I just wing it and I come and I say hi and we talk about whatever. Today's a little bit of both. So I had a very good week. I just recovered from COVID, holidays, like Oh my God. I just felt like energetically, I finally felt like myself again for the first time in weeks. Like by Wednesday, I was like, I'm back. I'm back. I told my team, like, look out team, because I'm back. My energy's back. Here we go. So I was just feeling really inspired. I onboarded a new community management client for the agency who has an incredibly successful Facebook group, not a necessary, I mean, it is big. It's like 2,000, but more so in lead generation. And he has really simplified, talking about one thing in one place and having one simple path for people to work with him. And I was like, holy crap, I'm going to learn so much by getting my hands inside this business and this community. And it really, really inspired me. It's been kind of on my radar to build a sales team this year for the agency for my own business. And it just gave me a lot of inspiration with that. A lot of inspiration for like a nice clean landing page on how people can work with me. I mean, all that stuff's on our website. We can always find it, right? But how can we simplify and make it so easy so that we're always kind of sharing the same thing over and over? And you guys will see that I'm starting to share the wait list for the Growth Lab again, right? That stayed the same. Because we're doing another masterclass in February, and I'm going to be talking about the Growth Lab over the next couple of weeks because we are kind of transitioning out of beta into the real deal. So that's exciting. But anyway, I don't know if any of those were very clear thoughts, but I was just feeling very inspired to continue to challenge myself and to challenge you guys on how can we keep it simple in our groups, right? Like, we don't want to say, oh my God, I offer this. Oh, and by the way, I offer this. Oh, and by the way, I offer this, right? It's okay to have multiple offers, but how can we simplify that even more and make it about our members and customers by letting them know, hey, you might be brand new. You might have not even opened your Facebook group yet. Maybe you have a Facebook group and now you're ready to monetize it. Or maybe you already have a lead generating Facebook machine and now we need to work on your systems, your data collection, and being able to really put logs on that fire, right? So I just kind of explained that there are 3 different phases of where you guys might be in your Facebook group journey. I serve people in all of those phases. So let's talk about your group and figure out where you're at so I can help you choose the right way to work with me. Like, do you see what I kind of just did? I was just rehearsing that so you guys could see. That's a great point. Yeah, some streamlining. Exactly. And I don't want us to overthink what that looks like because I know I'll sit down and be like, oh my God, I got to get organized. I got to get efficient. But like, what does that really mean? Right? Like, sometimes it's more, what do we need to let go of? Like, then what do we need to add? Or what do we need to change? Just what do we need to let go of to make this even more simple? So kind of what I just walked you guys through out loud of like speaking to your audience, meeting them where they're at, right? Like you either haven't started your group yet, you started your group and you're ready for more engagement and maybe more leads, or you've got a great big group that you're generating leads and now you need to streamline the processes, right? So I'm meeting you guys where you are. I'm letting you know there's 3 different phases that kind of have 3 different solutions to get you to the next phase. Then I would reach out and say, here's how you do that. Right? So that in his business and potentially my business might look like, let's jump on a 20-minute phone call and assess where your group is at so that I can best serve you. Or it might look like take this quiz so you know exactly where you are and what you need to purchase. Or it might just look like here's a PDF that has the 3 options and a workbook to kind of help you figure that out. But we're almost like hand holding, meeting them where they are and letting them know how we can serve them. Rather than let me just talk to the whole group about a scorecard when we have people in the group that haven't even started their group. Right? People in the group that haven't started the group. right? So they're not there yet. They're not thinking about a scorecard yet. So we do really have to differentiate these conversations a little bit so that people don't get overwhelmed, so that we're constantly meeting them where they are, and we're constantly reminding them how to work with us, and how to identify how we can best help them. So give me a couple weeks to hash that out, and I'll make that a little more clear for you guys. Another exciting thing, I had a great Facebook group in an hour session where we hashed out my template for your group description. So that's still on my to-do list, but I'm going to have a template for you guys for that, and it'll also be going in the Growth Lab, which the waitlist is finally open. I put that link for you guys here. We're going to be opening the doors like late February, but I just wanted to start reminding you guys about the waitlist now. If you're new here and you weren't here for the beta, the Growth Lab is my course on community management and community growth. This is a great option for someone who is just starting out, a solopreneur that wants to do everything on their own, like the exact same 5-step process that I'm doing for these 8-figure companies. This walks you through how to do that on your own. Or if you are a bigger company and you have a team and you want to hire a community manager, you can just get the course and press play and you don't have to train them. I'm doing it for you. So it works for either of those scenarios. And my beta students are loving it. Everything is going really well. A couple things we're going to tweak. We're going to build out a sales page. We haven't done that. So there's quite the to-do list, but I'm really excited to kind of transition out of beta and actually get it into the real deal. And yes, letting go of Kelly. Exactly. I think that helps with that overwhelm. I'm going to transition the conversation now, but letting go when I'm overwhelmed, instead of like, what do I need to get done? Asking myself, what can I let go of? It's like a light and easier question, right? Versus like, I gotta do all the things or everything feels heavy. Like, what can we just let go of? Life, business, all the things, relationships. We have to shed things, like let go so we can let in the new and the better and, whatever it might be. Okay. I did write down a couple things because I knew that I'm in like visionary mode right now. So I'm in a very brainstormy, dreamy phase. So sorry for that. You're coming along for the journey. So I was like, let me make sure that I'm actually answering some of their questions. Hey, Daria. I still have to mail your planner. I know, you guys, I essentially took 2 weeks off, if I can just be honest. I took 2 weeks off and I didn't feel like I was falling behind at all until today. Where I was like, I actually logged into my project management situation. ClickUp is amazing if you guys need, project management. And I was like, I have a lot that I did not do on time. So, hi. So yeah, I took 2 weeks off, so I'm getting my life together. So Daria, your planner will be mailed soon. So let's talk about the questions. Yeah, I wish it was a little bit of like a vacation or something, but it was just, I did binge watch Ozark. Did I binge watch anything else? I think it was mostly Ozark. Okay, focusing. So where I'm getting the questions, when you guys ask questions in the group or these questions to enter the group, my team is tracking all of that. So sometimes for these Friday lives, when I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I can just pull from these questions that you guys are actually asking. And I want to encourage you to do that in your group as well. To write down questions that people are asking so that you can share them later to the group in a blog post, however you deliver your content. Like, I'm like a live content girl. I don't really blog anymore. Kelly, I know you're on here. I do. Okay. That's a story for another day. But, I prefer to deliver my content like face to face, hanging out with you guys. I like to feel like I'm in a room with you. So the more that we track these questions, even if I answer them in the group, there's opportunity to share them again on these lives so that we're helping more people. So one of the questions was, I wrote down 4. I don't know if we'll have time for all of them, but like, how do I really get a niche audience in my Facebook group? And I know we have talked about this quite a bit on some of the other lives, so you guys can always go binge watch. But I find the best way to get a niche audience into a group is by building the group around a very specific problem that you solve. And I know you guys that are here every Friday, I'm sorry, sometimes you get the same stuff, but the more specific of a problem you can solve that is, say, a chapter in your book, but not the title, build your group around that so that you're spending a ton of time on that chapter, but you're selling them the book, right? I've used the analogy of a Band-Aid and a headache. But if you can build a group around how to get an extra hour a day in your life, like I know we have a couple of time management people in here. So if you can build a group around helping people find another hour in their day, they're going to be like, heck yes, I want another hour in my day. But if your group is just built around, I'm going to help you with your productivity, that's kind of general. Okay, I need to be more productive, but I don't have time for that right now. Like, right? But if someone gives me a very specific promise of like, you know, get 5 extra hours back a week, I'm like, sign me up. So that really specific problem that you know your audience needs solved, you can build your group around that, just like mine is around doubling your engagement in 2 weeks, which is proven to work if you show up for it. The more like ideal clients, niche audience you're going to get. And again, I talked about this as well. I made the decision to start a group from scratch instead of rebranding one. And it's the best thing I could have ever done because everybody here has raised their hand saying, I want to learn about community building and Facebook groups. I want to double my engagement in just 2 weeks. So that is my number one tip on how to really attract a super niche audience is by building the group around solving a specific problem. And if you have questions around that, we can dig in deeper, or I'll circle back to it if we don't get to it today. The next question, where does a Facebook group fit into my business? This is like one of my favorite questions to answer. One of my favorite phases to help people with is like someone who actually doesn't have a group at all, and they want to figure out how the group fits into their business. So, my best friend Angie and I were brainstorming this morning. She doesn't have a free Facebook group. She's got a couple different paid ones. She's probably not going to start one, and I'll tell you why it's probably not a good fit. But my mind was like, Angie, if you ever decide that you want to create a Facebook group, I have learned so much that we can get you up and rolling in like a week. And she already has a big audience. She already has a niche audience of branding photographers, like easy peasy, right? Because she's already really established what her offer is, what problem it solves, and who she's talking to. So you can take whatever your business is, and again, thinking about that problem that you solve, can you build a community around that? I have a couple different like CPAs that I've actually worked with. So it's like, okay, what kind of money problem can you help people with and give them an actual transformation in 2 weeks and build a group around that transformation? That's really how you get people in. And then of course you build that long-term relationship with them. So that's really kind of ties into the first question, but I feel like that's how you can identify how to fit a Facebook group into your business. Now, is it right for you or is it not? That's a really important question. And I think energetically, why I actually discouraged Angie from actually doing the group, because she's doing really well just with her launches, and energetically, it's really helpful for her when she can kind of take breaks. So if you do these big launch cycles and you don't really like showing up, like I would rather show up like this and give you guys 30 minutes to an hour of my physical time every Friday than have to create content for you. Like that's the kind of teacher, leader, human being that I am. And I know that about myself. I want to be on Zoom. I want to be on Facebook. Like that's where I want to spend all my time. Some people do not want that. Energetically, they don't want to show up on Zoom. They don't want to show up live as often. They want to do it in these little phases. So when you're thinking about building your Facebook group and how it fits into your business, it's really important to think about how energetically do you show up as your best? Where do you want to spend your time? Do you want to spend your time building relationships in a Facebook group? Or are you more of, I'm going to go record a podcast and set it and forget it and not have to engage with those people? So it really depends on your personality type and what you truly desire. And if you're incorporating things into your business that you truly desire, then you're going to show up for them in a much better way. So a Facebook group isn't right for everyone. It can be. I think you can build a Facebook group that fits into your lifestyle, that fits into your launch cycles, but it just might not be necessary if what you're doing is already working. Then, right, let's not get shiny object syndrome. But I'm telling you, people that have one really great specific offer and a Facebook group built around solving a problem that's a chapter of that book, like it is their number one lead generation tool. I met with a friend yesterday and his Facebook group, he was like, hands down, 80% of our leads come from our Facebook group. So much opportunity there, but just weigh your options on how you want to show up energetically. Okay, let me see some of these questions. It's where totally, Kelly, it's totally a great place to nurture. Lots and lots of love and value for me all the time. And then when I launch, I have this group of very warm leads. Nothing converts like my Facebook group for me. 100%, Kelly. I love it. Quinn said this live is showing me that I'm doing too much. You know what? That's possible. But there's two different ways we can take this conversation, Quinn, because I love this conversation. And it's, do you want to make some choices and let go of some things? If that's an option. Sometimes it's not. Like, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I run a business that supports my family. You guys, my revenue is not optional, right? Like, it's not a hobby for me. It's not optional. I have to make a certain amount of money every month to put food on the table. So there are some things that I can't let go of. And I know a lot of you guys are in that boat. I'm like leaning in, right? Like I'm all into it. So we have to make a choice here. When we have these overwhelmed feelings, and I'm not saying you're overwhelmed, Quinn, but if we have an overwhelmed feeling that we're doing too much or there's too much on our plate, okay, what can we let go of? But if we can't actually let go of anything because we're moms and we're human beings that have responsibilities, you can always let go of something. But just saying, if I have to maintain this plate, what kind of stories, what kind of thoughts can I create that will support the possibility that I can actually do it all? And start thinking about what would it look like if I can do it all? And start putting those puzzle pieces together. And I just recently had a client that didn't work out because I was going to help him grow a community on YouTube. And his team was like, you don't need to be focusing on YouTube. That's not the right place for us to be right now. And I just looked at him and I said, I just want you to say, what if it is possible to do both? Like, what if you can grow your YouTube without it being all of this effort and taking all of your time? Because whichever story that we believe, it's too much, I don't have time. Or, you know what? I can actually spend about an hour a week and accomplish this big, scary thing. And I'm willing to give an hour a week. Whichever of those two stories that we tell ourselves is exactly the story that's going to come true. So I encourage you guys to let go of as much as you can let go of and simplify your life, 100%. But I'm also a very multi-passionate human being. And I like to operate from what's really important to me that I'm going to keep and what would it look like to be able to balance it all. And as long as we're staying in that mindset place of what would it look like to balance it all, then you'll figure it out. Because if you're asking yourself those questions, you'll figure it out. So Quinn, I was kind of speaking to your sentence, but I was going off on my own passionate little tangent there. And hopefully that was helpful. Okay. It's 11:28, so I really do have to go, but I have two more questions that I'll circle back to or save for later. And thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry I had to kind of cut it short. Letting go of resistance is a good start. Exactly, Tule. You guys are so awesome. I just love hanging out with you, and even just knowing you're in the comments. Okay, hopefully that was a little bit of a golden nugget. Don't forget you can sign up for the wait list for the Growth Lab. Um, I'm not going to talk about how many weeks behind I am on my to-do list. I'm exactly 2 weeks behind. Thank you, Kelly, for showing up and bringing your energy and for growing your community that loves you so much. There's nothing that makes me happier than to just see you guys out in the world being amazing leaders and amazing community builders. I love you guys. Seriously, I needed this. Good to see you too, Tule. And I'm here. So share your wins, share things in your groups that are working, and bring your questions if something's not working. If you have a post that flops, let me know and I'll be able to tell you why it flopped. You're welcome, Quinn. Okay. Really gotta go. Bye, guys.
All right. Yay. If you're still here, thank you so much for joining us on that journey. I want to apologize for the audio. Pulling the videos from Facebook, I need to figure out a better way to preserve some of that quality because we're losing some of that quality when we transition it from video to audio. So if that is your zone of genius, feel free to send me a message. Otherwise, I'm going to see if I can collaborate with my team and see what we can do about that. Because it's just not going to sound as clear as the intro and the outro. But anywho, thank you guys for being here, for being part of the Messy Success Podcast. You're so amazing. I love just hearing from you. And don't forget to leave us a review if you loved this episode or the podcast. Message me on Instagram. I'm Elizabeth.Henson. And we will see you again soon. Hopefully next week. Cross my fingers if we can stay healthy and not have any more snow. And stay amazing. I'll see you inside the community builder.